Hello, this is Colorado Gaming and we are playing Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. So in this video, we are having a brand new adventure, Flume's Clues. During the adventure, Ambrosius Flumes, the owner of Honeydews, will visit Hogwarts and announce that several special chocolate fruit cards have been hidden around the school grounds. Any student who manages to find one of these cards will be invited to an exclusive feast of endless confectionaries. So you have 3 days and 19 hours to complete this task. So as you start the adventure, you will arrive just in time for the headmaster's announcement. And he gives a speech about not to forget about the life's simple pleasure. Then he introduces Mr. Flume and he talks about the sweet scavenger hunt. Needless to say, most of the students were excited about the scavenger hunt. Mr. Flume provided some clues that pointed to Cleodna, a famous medieval witch. Both me and Marilla went to the library to do some research, and after scouring through a book about Cleodna, we found out that she was incredibly skilled at potion making. And she even made the animagus potion, and her animagus is a seagull, and she was also skilled at transfiguration. So Marilla went to search the transfiguration classroom while I was sure that the clue might be on the potions classroom. So I went to see Penny in the potion classroom, and thankfully she was more than willing to help me find the chocolate frog card. And after searching through the classroom, we found that the mandrake bottle, which is the primary ingredient of animagus potion, was missing, which was another clue. So we both went to the herbology classroom where we found a chocolate frog card hidden in the soil of a mandrake. So with the help of earmuffs to prevent from the fatal effects of the mandrake scream, we successfully collected the chocolate frog card. Professor Sprout agrees to borrow us some earmuffs. So we managed to uproot the mandrake and obtain the card. Unfortunately, there are 2 of us and only 1 card, which means that we need to find another one to ensure that both of us get invited to the feast. Hopefully, Mr. Flume will agree to give us a clue that can help us find another chocolate frog card. And according to Penny, we should be able to find him in the courtyard. So we head there. So me and Penny went to the courtyard to talk to Mr. Flume and see if he can give us any clue about another chocolate frog card. And we had to do some convincing, but ultimately he agreed to give us another hint. So we figured out that the clue has something to do with fashion. So we went to meet Andre and see if he can help us decipher it. After talking about the clue, Andrea figured out that it is related to Quidditch. So he asked Penny and me to meet him on the Quidditch pitch. So after getting there, Andrea revealed that the clue is most likely related to a Quidditch move called Plumpton's Pass. He opened the nearby Quidditch trunk, and inside there was a chocolate frog card tied to the golden snitch. Unfortunately, the snitch flew away before any of us can grab it. So to make things worse, Marilla showed up on her broom and she started chasing the golden snitch. Both Andrea and me quickly mounted our brooms, and I distracted Marilla while Andrea went for the snitch. Luckily, he managed to catch it, and thanks to my help, so we ended up with another chocolate frog card. Needless to say, Marilla wasn't happy with that and turn of events, so she promised to form a team of her own and find every single remaining card. Since Andrew joined our team, we need 1 more chocolate frog card, so we went back to courtyard to ask Mr. Flume for another clue. Unfortunately, we couldn't find him there. However, we did find Marilla and her teammates Barnaby and Esmeralda. She told you that someone set off a dunk bomb in Honeydews, which is why Mr. Flume had to leave the courtyard. On top of that, I learned that Marilla's team already found one card and they received a clue from Mr. Flume before he left. Thankfully, Barnaby revealed to you that the clue has something to do with Cersei, so we decided to do some research in the library. So me, Andrea, and Penny went to the library to research Cersei. Unfortunately, all of the books about her were checked out, and I immediately realized that Marilla was behind it. After discussing what to do, I decided to go to the History of Magic classroom and see if Professor Benz can help us anything about Cersei. He was asleep once I arrived, and we had to wake him up. He told us that he had some notes on Cersei, but they were lost among the other notes in his desk. So we helped him find the notes and learned that Cersei was a highly skilled in transfiguration. So we went to the transfiguration classroom to see if we could find anything. And after searching the classroom, we found a chocolate frog card hidden behind one of the books. Unfortunately, the card turned out to be a transfigured frog, and you realize that Marilla tricked us. To make things worse, Professor McGonagall told us that Marilla and Esmeralda already found the card in the classroom shortly before we arrived. Later on, we met Penny in the Great Hall, and luckily, Mr. Flume came back and gave us a clue to the last chocolate frog card. After discussing it with Penny, we figured out that the clue is somehow related to the charms, so we decided to visit Professor Flitwick
So we
and see
reached
if he
Cham's
can help
classroom
us.
and talked with Professor. After hearing the clue, he said that the answer is not in the Cham's classroom and we should meet him at the Clock Tower courtyard so that he can help us. On reaching the Clock Tower courtyard, we saw Professor Flitwick busy with the rehearsal of frog choir, and he complained that his frog choir is a total disaster and these frogs were not able to get the right note. So I offered that we have a transfigured frog and he might be able to crack the right note. We were surprised to hear the name of the song, and that song is exactly the clue that Mr. Flume mentioned. As the rehearsal started, Figgy was very
now we have got
good,
three
and
chocolate
that one frog who
cards.
didn't perform well,
Penny, you
spat
and
a
Andrea
chocolate
can
frog
now
card.
go to the feast. Once the waiting time is over, we proceed to the Lower West Hall, and there we saw a bunch of people, happy people who are ready to enter the feast. So you notice that everyone looks excited, almost everyone. Marilla and her teammates won't seem happy. So we approached and asked what's wrong, but Marilla refuses to share. But Barnaby said that they only have two chocolate frog cards and cannot decide who will be the one to sit out the feast. Moments later, all of you will start looking for a solution to Marilla's card problem. And after discussing, Andrea will notice that Mr. Flume is not too tight about the rule. So we wonder if we could pass our chocolate frog card to Marilla after I enter. And Marilla was totally surprised to hear that because, she wouldn't expect me to help her. So moments later, I head towards the Great Hall. Mr. Flume will cheerfully greet me and he kindly asks me and Marilla to present our cards. So I will show my chocolate frog card and he allowed me to enter the feast. So before doing that, I will give my card to Marilla. Mr. Flume will be surprised to see that and he will tell that he never said that everyone needs a different card to enter the feast. So after considering it for a moment, he will allow both of us to enter the feast. So we'll be happy, kindly thank him for that, and Marilla will be happy that our plan. Later we enter the Great Hall and there or a bunch of students. Even Rowan was also there. I wonder when she came. She was not in this quest with us. So when we approached, Penny asks if she is enjoying the feast. She smiles and says that she doesn't want it to end. However, with so many sweets around, she won't be sure what to eat. So moments when Penny and me were talking, Professor Dumbledore approached me and asked for a moment of my time. So he told me about the goal of the chocolate fruit card scavenger hunt. As it seems, Professor Dumbledore saw me helping Marilla, Barnaby, and Ismelda. He gives me an incredibly rare chocolate fruit card from his personal collections. So I will wholeheartedly thank him for the wonderful gift, and shortly after I will enjoy the feast with my friends. So that's the end of a sweet adventure. Thank you guys for watching.